Vape check, vape check.
We are live. We do have vape.
I'm a
the
dragon.
vape is confirmed. The vape has landed.
That's weird. Also, I don't. Have you seen the trailer for Bohemian Rhapsody?
Oh, the Queen biopic with the Mr. Robot guy.
Yes.
I've seen a little bit of it. The thing I immediately thought was, yeah, I really like Queen, so yeah, I'll watch this. This looks good.
He kind of makes a really cool Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, like he really looks like that dude. It's sort of crazy.
It's a little creepy as well.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, I sort of didn't understand why you picked him for this, but now I really do.
Yeah. Speaking of movies, me and Jess went to the theater on Friday, and we watched Hereditary. We were debating either that or Hotel Artemis.
I've heard Hereditary is a thing with a capital T.
Yeah.
I don't know much about it, so I'm not going to spoil it for anybody accidentally.
Well, the least I say about it, the better.
Okay.
Because that movie is kind of amazing.
Oh, really?
And kind of terrifying. And I don't think I've seen a movie that has used directional audio as well as that movie has.
Oh, nice.
Like, we were in one of the smaller screens at our theater, which has a good sound system, but not the best one. If you get the chance to watch Hereditary in a theater that has a solid sound system, go do it, because like we talk about how DICE are like the master of sound design in video games. Whoever did this movie, like the sound design is so good. Like there's creepy noises coming from literally behind you in the theater.
Crazy. And
it's really, really well done.
Some Silent Hill shit going on.
Yeah, it's a really good movie. The least I say about it, the better. I can't really mention a lot because spoilers.
Yeah, it's one of those movies that like
you
went in fairly blind, so you want someone else to go in fairly blind. It's like watching that movie Split. It's like just go see it. You may not like it, you may love it, but the less you know about it, the more fun the ride is.
Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, Hereditary is terrifying and amazing at the same time. I really like how it's shot. Like, I think they do an incredible job with the sound design, but also they use very little music in that movie, and it works really well.
Nice.
But my favorite thing there is a couple of scenes with ants, because they're in the middle of the countryside, so obviously there are ants.
Oh, yeah.
My wife has a very valid reason why she is not, I wouldn't say scared of ants, but she hates ants.
There's a little bit of a phobia.
And I know the backstory behind that, and it is a very valid reason why she has this dislike of ants.
Sorry, Microsoft's doing something real clever with their stage setup right now.
Okay. Which, yes, for the record, I'm not watching the press conference right now, so I'm completely blind on that. But it made me laugh because it's something I've noticed with my wife is like when the weather changes to spring here, we get ants inside of our house a lot. So basically every year it's a reset of the ant traps in the new areas that they have discovered how to get into the house. And we occasionally get like one ant crawling across like the sink or something like that. So it's okay, where's it coming from? New ant trap, that kind of stuff. And every time it shows up, my wife says, I don't like ants. Yeah. Every time she sees an ant, she says, I don't like ants. And we were in the theater and the ant showed up on the screen and she leans into me and she says, I don't like ants.
I don't like ants.
And I don't think she has confirmed for me that she didn't realize that she literally says that every single time she sees an ant.
Like it's like a Pavlovian thing.
Yes, it's her defense mechanism against seeing an ant is to state outright, I don't like ants.
Right.
We were standing outside the theater and I was like, do you know that you do this?
I get what this is.
Are you aware that every single time you see an ant, you literally say, I don't like ants?
Hey, in case you forgot, I don't like ants.
And she was like, do I really? I was like, yeah, every single time you see one, you literally say out loud, I don't like ants. I'm sitting in the living room and all I'll hear is, I don't like ants. Smush.
It's like you see a pest control commercial. Oh, man, I just don't like ants.
Mm-hmm. And it's kind of funny because she's catching it now, so she's trying to not say it every time she sees an ant. It's like, you've got a reason for it. It's absolutely fine. I just thought it was funny that literally even in the theater you said it to me.
I can wait until she just starts changing it up, where she's like, sees an ant, she's like, I don't like sharks.
She did it yesterday. She was like, I don't like them.
I don't like them guys.
Yeah. Oh, it was great.
Holy shit, this looks good.
No spoilers.
Oh no, this is the last thing they're showing, so.
Oh, so we might actually get a couple of views.
Probably. Hey, we have one right now.
That's me?
Oh, yeah. Can I actually see the list? No.
Yes, you can.
Oh, I haven't even opened up chat. Let's do that, and then we can get started, because, boy, we have a ton of questions this week.
See, the viewers list is right there. Viewers. Moonpier.
Oh, I don't have it. I just have Restream.
Oh, okay.
And Restream just says 1. Alright, that's open. Live streaming here. Just for your edification, I don't know if you've seen the show notes for this week's episode.
No.
We're going to be talking some E3 stuff, but it's only stuff that was announced before the show that wasn't really like leaks or rumors. It's just very clear, like, here's a pre-E3 announcement that we have.
Okay, like Kingdom Hearts 3 release date.
No, I'm not even going to talk about that. It's not real.
Kingdom
They're
Hearts
lying
3.
to us again.
It's the day before my birthday, dude. If it doesn't come out then, I will be mad. It's like Dead Space 2 all over again, and Dead Space 1. They both came out on my birthday.
That's exciting. No, like, what do we have? Yeah. Oh, I can cut that out because we'll talk about that during next week's episode. Oh, I need to get the title for that. It's Become as Gods Edition.
Become as gods?
Yep.
Is it God of War?
Nope. Alright, show's over. Which means our show starts. Are you ready to kick this thing off?
No.
Ugh, I should change my shirt. It's like one of those shirts, like, it's a medium, but I just feel like I'm fucking swimming in it.
I'm wearing an extra large.
So it's a dress.
Yes.
Well, you're much taller than I am, right? How tall are you?
6'2".
Oh, we are very much taller than I am. I'm like 5'8".
I think I might have shrunk down to 6'1" at this point, though.
Yeah.
Like, too much sitting like this.
We're in our 80s, so we're just... Next year, it's just going to be like this on the live stream. Just all foreheads and hair.
Yep. You won't be able to see the microphone because my nose hair will be covering it. I wish that was a show title.
Man, that's not what I'm looking forward to, getting older as a dude, is like the nose and ear hair.
It doesn't bother me.
I just don't want to deal with it. Like, I'll buy a machine and I'll just... and I'm fucking done with it, but like...
I don't either, but I'll probably deal with it the same way I deal with everything else, which is, this is the way I look. If you don't like it, don't fucking look at me.
Yeah. I have food in my nose hair, just don't look at me.
Yeah, when a relative says, are you getting fed right? It's like, yeah, bitch, I'm wearing a t-shirt that's 2XL and I can get away with a medium. I dress comfy, not to please your eyeballs. Thank you very much.
A thing I always want to say, nobody really asks me that stuff, but I always want to be like, not since my wife died. I gotta go.
I would have said that, except my wife was in the room.
Ah, crap.
Which made that comment even more painful. It's like,
I don't like those ghosts. Oh, man. Yeah, we actually got some shit from relatives lately. So our kid doesn't like holding our hand, which makes it really tough to control an 18-month-old when she's running around a public place.
Fucking makes it really tough to control an 18-year-old as well if you can't hold the hand.
That's true. And like one of her relatives is like, you should really get her to hold your hand. It's like, bitch, I can't get an 18-month-old to do anything. Some days I can't get her to eat, and she's starving. So, lock it down. Come on.
Yeah. I'm sorry, would you like me to beat the shit out of her like the old days?
Right,
like the good old days when you were growing
her
up?
by her. How'd your daughter's shoulder get dislocated? I don't know.
She
weird.
She fell down some stairs.
Right.
Repeat after me, little girl. I fell down some stairs.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, it's that sort of stuff where it's just like, I cannot get a kid to do what I want them to because they're a kid. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Pretty soon they're going to be working a shitty dead-end job in a windowless cubicle office. I'm going to let her run around and scream for a little bit.
Like, the world has changed so much between when we were born to, like, let's say 2010. And in the past 8 years, it's changed so much even more than that.
Yep.
Like, everything seems to be changing on a minute-by-minute basis. It's like, chill the fuck out.
Hi, Soul Man. I see you in chat. Wink. I'm also very excited.
Yeah, no. Thank you. Spoiler already. Bye-bye, chat.
Full screen that shit.
So there's the announcement that Boston was really excited about.
Wink.
Yeah. I'm not joking, by the way. I literally slammed my thing shut. No chat for me today.
I'm done with you, chat. I'll just read it off.
Fuck you. I'm so glad we weren't actually live because I couldn't have stopped that fuck you if I tried.
Just a reflexive friend fuck you.
Yeah.
Alright, let me know whenever you're ready.
I'm ready when you are.
Excuse me. I'm never ready.
Hello everyone, I'm Mixer who's jumping over to us from the Microsoft press conference. Hello.
Hi there. Yeah, how many viewers
We are
do we have
not
now?
going to be talking about the Microsoft press conference today.
We have 2 viewers, you and Soulman.
Whoop,
Well,
whoop.
not you anymore.
Well, yeah.
Soulman and someone. Waiting for T-Bomb Rocks to...
It probably is still me. Yeah, it's still me. The thing's still open.
I'll take it. I'll take the numbers.
Yes.
Alright, let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boston. Joining me as always is Moonpyr.
Hello.
Just to let you guys know, we're in the middle of E3 now, or as I'm calling it, E3 Week 2, since Week 1 has already finished.
Yep.
We're not going to be talking about much E3 stuff during news stories this week. That's all going to get, since it's literally in the middle of it right now, and wrap all that stuff up next week for the, no releases, no news stories, no games, just E3 episode next week. That'll be 556. So we're going to talk about all the pre-E3 stuff this week. So
Yes.
if you're waiting for E3, that will be another week. I think that's it.
I think so.
What's that?
I think so. I don't know.
Patreon.com/E1M1. Moon, what have you been playing this past week?
Start with the showstopper, I guess. I played Sea of Thieves. I played a fair bit of Sea of Thieves this week.
New patch is out, right?
I played it for one day. Yeah, it was like a 12 gig patch, I think, something like that.
Wow.
So they are currently, well, I don't know if it's still going on right now, but they're running the Megalodon event.
Oh, yeah.
Which my wife and our friends have lovingly called Meg.
There you go.
Because the rule is you don't say the name of the Megalodon, you don't say the name of the Kraken. Because when you say their name, they show up and really F your S up.
Okay.
So we don't say their names out loud. So the Kraken is called Karen, the Megalodon is called Meg.
My favorite 80s pop duo, Karen and Meg.
Yeah. The shocking thing is, other people call her Karen too, and literally we saw a trailer about a Megalodon in the movie theater on Friday, and the movie is called The Meg, which is hilarious to me.
That's real good.
Uh-huh. It's got Jason Statham in, so I'm kind of interested.
Well, yeah, now you gotta go see it.
Exactly. But no, they've got this ongoing event, which is the Megalodon event. And it's the first time I've jumped in after a while. I will admit I'm lucky here because my wife knew I was interested in playing for it, and there is a quest line basically to unlock the Megalodon event.
Oh, okay.
So you have to do like 3 quests, and then you find out the location of this guy, and then you go talk to this guy.
And he turns into a Megalodon!
No, it's actually kind of interesting. So the way you do it is you do these 3 quests, you go speak to this guy. They've introduced a new musical instrument into the game, which is drums. So you can
Awesome.
sit there and rhythm out on some drums.
That's great.
when you go meet up with this guy, in order to get to the Megalodon, someone in your, you know, the whole music thing they've got in the game where when one person's playing, the second person starts and it syncs up instantaneously.
Yeah.
You have to start playing your drums by this guy who's standing on an island, and then your drum beat is his music, and that is the music that you need to summon the Megalodon.
Oh, wow.
So, by default, you are a pirate down, traveling to the Megalodon, because that person has to maintain that drum beat at all times.
Jeez. Alright, that's interesting.
And we were on a galleon, and there was 3 of us instead of 4 of us. So it was a 2-man galleon for a while there. And shout out to Knight, who we refer to in this story as a half a pirate, because she sprained her wrist. Oh no. And couldn't really play the game. So she became our little drummer girl and carried the drum beat for us while we sailed to the Megalodon. That's cool. Other things they've introduced in the game is a megaphone. Oh no. Because it's really cool meeting up with other people and becoming friends with them, but the problem is in order for the in-game chat, because you can chat in the game, in order for that to be picked up by somebody else, you literally have to be next to them on the ship.
So now you get to be in another ship shouting at them, "Look at my entire butt." Basically, yes. Or in our case, there was someone throwing offensive music at us about prostitutes of the Asian descent and how much it costs. Ah, sure. You know that song if you know that song. I do, yeah. If you don't, you don't. Right. Don't worry about it, you're fine. Yeah. So the megaphone is now used to communicate over a much longer distance so that you can say to people, hey, we're friendly. Parlay. Before you actually have to basically be right next to them. So it actually encourages discourse before the combat starts. Please stop shooting me, it hurts very badly. Exactly. So that's kind of a really interesting add-on to it. So we head to this guy on the way to meet this guy. Like I said, my wife was great. She took care of my 3 quests, so all I had to do was show up for the Megalodon section. That's true love. Yes. So we get to the guy, we start to, like, as we pull up, a different ship pulls up behind us. Oh, is it on the, it's parked on the island, but on the opposite end to where the guy is standing. So we go around to where the guy is, and we are shouting on our megaphones, we're friendly, do you want to go hunt a shark with us? Right. And then it becomes this crew of, I think it was 3 and us. We were like, yeah, okay, we're all good. This is after 20 minutes of supplying up, like going to 3 different bases and getting a bunch of supplies, because you're going to need all of the wood to repair the boat, the cannons to shoot at the thing. You're going to need it all. We met up with this other crew. We had a little friendly conversation. For once in Sea of Thieves, we had a friendly conversation about going to get this shark. And then we both kind of sailed to the same point, met up with the Megalodon, like spawn area, played the drums, and then the Megalodon appears. And this thing is a giant shark, as you expect from the name, the Megalodon. Right. Where it literally takes bites out of your ship. Oh, wow. And if you're not quick, you can get sunk in a heartbeat. Jeez. So we had 2 galleons, like, literally side by side, firing outwards to try and keep this Megalodon at bay. But as it bites you, it pushes you in different directions. So there was such wonderful instances as it bites the side of their ship knocks into our ship gets straight out, kind of thing. And we ended up like having to, like, we both galleons had dropped anchor, and we ended up like re-maneuvering ourselves back close to each other, because after a while we couldn't hear each other. So it was one of those things where it's like, oh, the Megalodon's coming for us. We've got 2.5 pirates. They've got 3 pirates. So all of a sudden our boat starts to sink, and it's like, pull out your megaphone, shout at them, we need help. And then run downstairs to start bucketing out the water while somebody else repairs. And all of a sudden all you hear is a cannon go off, and you hear, shoo, and then some dude hits the sails, lands on the mast, and comes down and helps us start bucketing the water out. It was really cool, and probably one of the most intense 30 minutes of gaming I've done in like the past like 2 months, where
it's just a constant thing. Where is he? What's he doing? Who's he attacking? How's everyone doing? Is everything okay? Can you still hear us? Are you all okay? Etc. Etc.
Yeah, that's really cool.
He does this great thing where when he bites the ship, like the ship leers a lot. Totally sent me flying over the edge into the water, where I was promptly eaten by a megalodon.
Great.
And I think I'm going to give credit. I think this is my wife's line. That's what we call pirate divorce, is when your husband gets eaten by a megalodon. So there was all kinds of stuff going on. Like it's really cool. The thing looks incredible as well. Like the game looks great. He looks really cool because he's got all of the scars and giant mouth and stuff.
Yeah.
We recorded a bunch of clips and like screenshots of him. Eventually, we did manage to kill him. And then it's like literally you can go under the water and you can see the size of him as he's like right under the surface, like curled up, like in his death throes. It's kind of huge. Like it's bigger than a galleon and it looks incredible. And this is the kind of content Sea of Thieves needs a hell of a lot more of.
Yeah.
Because this was fun. It got me back into the game. It got me interested in a whole bunch of stuff back about the game again. And it was fun to team up with other pirates to have a common goal, because then both galleons sailed back to the guy. We handed in our quest line, got the rewards for it, and there was another galleon already parked there looking for other people to go do it with. At which point it becomes like 3 crews all talking to each other about who's staying, who's going, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
There was a fair amount of touching each other's bananas, because they fixed the left trigger thing where right trigger you see it, left trigger you show it to somebody else. Like treasure maps, you look, left trigger you face the other way. Now with bananas you can give it to other people, so it's literally people holding out a banana in their hand being like, do you want to touch my banana? Come on.
So weird.
I'm not gonna lie, I rubbed my banana with somebody else's banana. It was great.
Sure.
But it's like the communication in the game has gotten so much better just because it's given a common enemy that's not each other to go and aim for. Like,
well, and it sounds like, most importantly, you're not assuming that everyone else is your enemy anymore. Like, they could be someone that's on their way to fight Devil Shark, and they could potentially be your friend.
Yes, and that was the great thing about it. Like, as soon as we showed up at the island and the other galleon was already parked, we were already shouting to let them know we were there, that we didn't want to attack them, using the megaphones, which it's shaped like a shark's mouth as well, just for fun.
That's great. Is everyone decent in here? We're coming in.
Yes, and then we all just met up at the beach. It's like, yeah, we're all gonna go do it. Let's go do it together, kind of thing.
Yeah,
and it was so fun. It was great. We handed in all the quests. We partied. Everybody had like a little dance and stuff. I finally got my achievement for doing the pirate salute and adding someone as a friend. Which, literally, there is a make friends emote option, and your pirate goes like this, and if somebody else does it back, it pops open the add them as a friend list.
That's great.
It's a really nice touch. But yeah, that game is fun. The game is great. It's beautiful. It's incredible. And it kind of needs more events like this. I hope more people have done this event, and I hope stuff like this keeps on coming, because the more they keep stuff like this coming out, the more I'm going to be going back to Sea of Thieves again and again and again, because I've always had a bit more leeway with that game than most.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoy playing it, so give me more content. That's great.
Yeah, hopefully they get to the point, where like Destiny and Destiny 2 got, where it's like, all right, Iron Banner's back for a week. So everyone says, oh, come on, all right, let's fire Destiny back up. And you might not play it for another 5 weeks, but then an event comes up and you're like, oh, cool, Sparrow Racing League's back, all right. It's like,
exactly.
Megalodon comes for 2 weeks every 3 months. It's like, oh, okay, oh, cool, this event's great. Let's fire back up Sea of Thieves. Game Pass.
Yeah, exactly. But no, that game is so good.
It's anyway, so good looking.
Yes, like I cannot express that enough. Like, that game looks beautiful.
Yeah. Like,
from the art style to the fact that the water is somehow realistic but still maintains the art style, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I totally forgot to mention as well, on the way to the Megalodon guy, we totally got attacked by the Kraken as well, just to make it more fun.
Why not?
Yeah.
Let's do all the encounters.
Mm-hmm. Thus laying waste to the rumors that she only attacks you if you've got a bunch of treasure, because we literally had diddly squat.
Yeah.
So, Kraken can hit you anytime, folks. Just as a heads up.
That's what those PSAs told us in the 80s.
Yes. Kids don't do Kraken.
Right.
So, other than Sea of Thieves, I played not a whole bunch, but a fair bit of Dark Souls Remastered.
Okay, I thought you were going to talk about the
other game, my last game.
Oh, maybe.
Anyway, Dark Souls Remastered. That game is still great. The game is still amazing.
Watching that game run at 60 seconds is real crazy. Or 60 frames. 60 seconds.
Yes.
Dark Souls minute.
Yeah. They need to remake that.
Just
1 minute Dark Souls.
Yeah.
But no, I'm done with Blighttown. I'm at the bottom of it. I can go away from there anytime I can. Right now I'm doing a little bit of grinding on the first hero boss to get a little bit of souls. And then I thought, here's a good idea. Let's go to this stupid tree with the death falls and let's see about, going down there. Because I remember there being a bunch of items down there. That was a mistake. Because that tree is best used when you have the item which allows you to fast travel, which you don't get until way later in the game. Because the tree is basically, it's tiny ledges going all the way down and falls to your death every which way you look.
Right.
And then there's the enemies who curse you, which takes off half of your health.
Great.
Just to make things more fun. And then there's the mushroom kids and the mushroom parents. The kids are bad. The parents will kill you in 2 hits. So, always fun. And then after you get through that area, there's Ash Lake, where you fight a... is it a Hydra? Yes, it's a Hydra. Multi-headed sea beast. Who killed me about 20 times. And then at the end of that is a bunch of man-eater crabs who killed me about 4 times as well. I realize I probably need to not be here right now, but the problem is I'm already so far in that to get out of it, I need to actually go back up the stupid tree of death. And I'm not looking forward to that section, at least.
Yeah.
So, fun for everyone for me. So right now I'm kind of a little torn because I want to finish exploring the area I am, but I'm getting the poop kicked out of me every single time I come up against somebody.
Yeah, man-eating crabs are eating man.
Yes, exactly. So I kind of need to back away from that, and I need to go do my own thing elsewhere. I need to get myself leveled up. Specifically, I need to upgrade all of my equipment because that's something I have not done so far.
Oh, yeah.
And I know my colleagues in Dark Souls, T-Bomb Rocks and Big Mackie of Community and Bamfcast fame, respectively, they are pretty much 10 bosses ahead of me at this point now. So I'm all by my lonesome all the way back here in Blighttown.
Yeah.
Don't mind me.
When they get a Megalodon in Dark Souls, now we're talking. You're going to put your focus there.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dark Souls Remastered still great. I love the game. I always have. It's still really, really difficult, especially if you go in unprepared like I did. My final game this week, because I've had 0 time, I probably put about maybe 3 or 4 hours into this so far. And that is developed by Don't Nod. It is Vampyr.
The game I thought you were going to talk about was Owlboy.
Oh, Owlboy, yeah.
Mostly because I just wanted to complain about it.
Oh, go ahead. Let's talk about Owlboy first, then.
I want to launch Owlboy into the sun.
Okay, let's go. Owlboy hate, let's go.
How far are you into it?
I've witnessed the destruction, and I think that's it so far.
Okay.
After the I'm chasing the 3rd relic, so
okay.
That should tell you.
This game. If anyone wants to hear me genuinely angry about a game I was 100% definitely going to love and has let me down at every turn, you should listen to the upcoming Game Club episode.
Yeah.
I cannot be more angry at a game.
Is it after where I'm up to?
You're on the downslope now.
Okay. Because I'm currently working my way through the forest to go further up.
That's right where it starts.
Mm-hmm. With the spiky balls that can't get hurt. and the controls that are slightly too loose, and you just hit everything.
Yep. Have you run into the part of the dungeon where it's 100% completely black?
Nope. Oh, wait. Are we talking about the gnome section?
Oh, that was the beginning of the total BS of Owlboy.
Yeah, that is the section I'm up to, and literally that I was trying to do that section, and I was like, screw this, I'm gonna go play something else because these gnomes are annoying as hell.
Yeah, Owlboy is real bad. And it breaks my tiny black heart to say that this game is actually really bad.
It starts so great.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so good.
And there are flashes of some really great stuff, and then it's just... I think... and I'll talk about it during the recap episode. I think it's the opposite of Stardew Valley. Both are developed by one person. Stardew Valley is a very well and very clearly designed game. Owlboy is a game where someone needed to tell that guy to stop. Like, stop with these segments, stop punishing the player, like, just figure out which sort of game you want to make and just make that.
It feels like it feels a little bit like, because I know both games took so long to develop.
Yeah.
It feels like that section of Owlboy started to get developed right around the time roguelikes were getting real popular.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I can put this in my game too. You really shouldn't have. Just make it a blue sky platformer with flight. That's
all you needed. Because a lot of the dungeon designs are pretty cool. And they're really interesting until you get to sequences like that. So what we're talking about for listeners that maybe haven't played it is at the end of the very first dungeon, everything's going swimmingly. It's a great looking game. It plays fairly well. Like Moon said, the controls are a little bit loose. You got your little buddy that you're carrying around. He's shooting a pistol. Then very suddenly there's a darkened area and there's these gnomes that patrol back and forth on these platforms. And you have to make it all the way to the top, like, right-hand corner. They can't see you, or they one-shot kill you. And they can't hear you, which means you can't fly, which has not been a restriction up until this point.
Yep.
And there are, by my count, 20 of them on this one screen. And
some of the platforms are ridiculous that they expect you to jump either over the top of them or right next to them, and then... literally, you touch a split, like a pixel of their light, and they're on you, and you're done. Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like, everything has been great until this part that is 100% garbage. Now we're out of it, and this stuff is great. It's just like, what? How did this happen?
Yep.
But anyway, let's talk about a good game. Let's talk about Vampyr.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Okay.
Okay.
So... let's say this game caused a very heated debate in this household.
Okay.
Understandably, kind of so.
From Discord, I get the impression your wife is enjoying it.
She is 50-50 on it. Okay. She is enjoying aspects of it and then absolutely despising other aspects of it.
From what I've seen, it seems very much like the perfect B-level game from like the PS2 era, where it's like, half of this game is really smart choices and some cool new stuff, and then what the hell happened to the other half of the game?
Yep, so let me talk to you about 2018's Alpha Protocol.
Okay.
Where the story is incredible, the characters are great, the game looks really good, I love the art style, I love the setting, I love the fact that you are a doctor who's an expertise in blood transfusions in, like, I think it might be World War One. I think, I'm not too sure. I don't have
Dr. Vampire.
Yes. It's really great. The characters are amazing. Like, it's so good. And then you get to the combat.
Oh no.
The combat, which you've played The Witcher 2, if I'm right.
Yeah, a little bit.
You remember how Witcher 2, Mass Effect, I think, no, Mass Effect 2 was pretty solid in this. Maybe Mass Effect 3 or Andromeda. When you move, you hold the stick in Witcher, and then it has that wind down thing where the animation has
they
to
like
slowly
take a
wind
couple
down.
steps.
And it just makes it feel a little bit loose.
Yeah.
Whereas like you play Gears of War, and it's like every step you take is purposeful, every shot you take is purposeful. It's heavy. You intended it. This game tries to go for the Assassin's Creed, the Dark Souls, that kind of combat. It's super punishing.
Great.
Like, you have a stamina meter that you can improve by gaining XP, aka blood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, stop me if you're expecting this. The movement in combat is real loose. Like, it's very easy to get yourself trapped in a corner and you are done. The combat itself is kind of semi-satisfying to me as a Dark Souls kind of fan. Like, that really tough, punitive style of combat, I'm completely fine with.
Yeah, every victory is like the final boss in any other game.
Yep. This game has some very serious issues with the combat. It's not tight enough to get away with being as punishing as it is. In Dark Souls, if you hit that button twice, you will swing that sword twice.
Yep.
And if you swung it twice when you should have swung it once, that is on you, 100%.
And I think that's what people don't either understand or internalize with Dark Souls, is they see the slow combat and they think, oh, well, it's a bad game. It's like, no, it's just... I use the word deliberate. Yeah, because you're specifically... You can't, like, cancel out of your swing and hold up your shield. Like, you swung. You need to swing your sword. Like, that is a deliberate action you took. But you have to have both of those things.
Yes, whereas this feels like it's a mishmash of Dark Souls, Assassin's Creed, and maybe a little bit of the old school God of War, like where it's super fast paced,
right?
Which makes it even more punishing when you are not quick enough. Like, the enemies, certain enemies have a jump attack that they will jump and mount you and then basically take a bite out of you. Guess what? They're kind of vampires. And that jump, it feels like I am two people body distance away from them. When they land that jump, they still land on me and still grab me and still do a ton of damage to me.
So my PS2 allegory was true, where it's like they landed like 3 car lengths away from me and they're just right on me.
Exactly. And it's kind of problematic because the start of this game, just to rewind it really quick, the start of this game starts with 3 notes. Note number 1 is, we have used medicines based on the time period for this. Do not attempt any of these medicinal recipes at home.
Gotcha.
The second note is, this game autosaves. When you see this symbol, you know, the game is autosaving. Do not switch the console off.
It's
do
a
not
spinning bloody thing.
It's actually like a bloody V.
Okay. I got close.
Yes, you did. My favorite part of that screen, in the bottom right hand corner, just like Don't Nod, it says, take responsibility for your actions.
Nice.
It's right there in the center, and it's like, take responsibility for your actions. No save, no quit, no reloading old checkpoints.
This is going to be your playthrough. What's
done is done. Live with it, or die with it, as the vampire might be.
Right. Or undead with it.
Yes. The third note on it is kind of the sticking point. This game gets less difficult the more people you drink the blood from.
Okay.
Which,
on the surface, sure, that makes sense.
When you look at the mechanics of the game, it kind of makes sense, because the mechanics of the game are really, really deep RPG conversation trees.
Yeah.
Like, every single character, it gets better because every single character has got personality things about them that you don't know the first time you talk to them. And I just arrived in this hospital where I've been hired to work as a doctor, because I am a doctor, Dr. Vampire.
Dr. Vampire. Dr. Acula.
Yes. I just got that joke.
That's not my joke, by the way. That's from Scrubs.
Yes. I knew I'd heard it before.
Yeah.
So I'm walking around this hospital. I'm meeting with all these different people, meeting with the patients. They're in the middle of the Spanish flu epidemic as well, just to make things more fun. So everything's already a sick show, and then it gets 10 times worse because there are brutal murders going on.
Of course.
Yeah, of course. So I'm walking around the hospital, I'm talking to a whole bunch of people, and it's like, I talked to this patient, and he's like, oh, I broke my arm, I'm a carpenter. My two doctors are arguing over who gets to do the procedure to repair my arm.
I thought this guy was going to be like, God, I just have so much extra blood. What's going to happen? Can someone help me with all this delicious extra blood? I only eat meat. Like, oh, this blood.
Yes. I'm chock full of iron right now. So he gives you like information on these two doctors, and then when you go talk to them, every single character it looks has basically like 4 like personal questions. The Mass Effect, tell me about this place.
Oh, sure.
Questions. When you go into the personal questions options, if you've never talked to them before, it'll just be 4 question marks, and it says hint needed.
Okay.
By talking around, you can get a hint, and then you can use your vampire force talk ability, where you just like tell me about this procedure, and then the guy, dead wooden voice, is just like, I think I am right because I believe in new scientific progress. Right. And the other guy's like, I believe he's just in it for ego and fame and money, whereas I believe what's doing right for the patients is what's best.
I think he's a vampire. He might just want your blood.
These are 2 non-vampire doctors. These are 2 normal doctors working there.
Boring.
And they're yes. But as you talk to all these people, you get hints about their personalities and their backstories and potential missions for them all.
That's cool.
I'm kind of in my first hub world right now, and my first hub area. I don't want to go anywhere. I just want to talk to everybody.
I want to know everything about everyone.
Yes, exactly. One of the things they teach you really quick in the game is you have vampire vision.
Yes. Detective vampire vision.
Yes. So by doing that, you can see a person and you can see the condition of their blood. You meet an alcoholic and his blood will give you a fatigue status.
This blood just says Cool Ranch.
No, we all know cheesy is the way to go when it comes to blood.
This one just says cheesy gordita. Yes.
But this guy's a drunkard, so when you drink his blood, it will fatigue you and give you like a negative effect.
A little bit of the spins.
Spoiler, you're a doctor. You can cure him of the fatigue before you drain his blood if you so pick.
Ah, okay.
You can give everybody medical checkups as well. Like you can say to people, do you need a medical checkup?
How's that blood looking?
Yes, exactly. That's pretty much what it is.
I don't know how to answer that, doctor. I'm sorry.
But as you talk to people, you gain information about them. You see every hint that you unlock increases your reputation with that person. I've used the term reputation here because it's hard to describe what essentially is an XP bar in their character screen.
Okay.
The more hints you get about that person fills that XP bar out further. And what that XP bar is that's how much XP you will get if you lure them into a corner and drain them of their blood.
Oh god, okay. So it's just real premeditated.
It's real teaser. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, are you struggling? This guy here, he's worth 3,000 XP.
Right. That's gonna be like 10 levels.
It's right here in the menu. All you need to do is mesmerize him, take him to a shadowy area, and then numb down like you wouldn't believe it.
Well, I thought the Eververse in Destiny 2 was bad. This one's very much like, God, this guy's just chock full of blood and experience. That'd be crazy if you ate him.
But that's the best thing is to level up, you go rest in a bed. And then when you spend your XP, it's blood meters filling up to the next like skill point. And as you're filling it up, it starts off because it's like boom, 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 and then the closer you get to it, it's like boom, 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 with this heartbeat going on. It's presented so well.
Yeah.
Like so much about this game, I'm absolutely in love with. I'm loving the RPG. I'm loving the storytelling. I'm loving all of the characters. I'm loving
weirdness.
the different stuff going on. And it's absolutely amazing, and the combat is where the thing just falls apart.
What's so crazy to me is I don't understand when they look at the rest of that game. I don't understand why they didn't make it a turn-based strategy RPG. Those two halves would go perfectly together. Like I don't understand how they why.
I think it's because most, and this is no offense to you and the rest of the cast of Pup, most people would see that turn-based strategy and walk away.
Sure. I mean, the market size for SRPGs is Probably the three of us that are on PUP. And the market for Dark Souls Victorian vampire game is probably considerably larger.
Yes.
There's like 5 people.
Yes. Maybe 6.
Yeah.
My wife would buy it twice if she could. I'm just kidding. She's debating whether or not she even wants to play it right now. But that's the thing that caused this heated debate in our household. Was I am fine with the way they have developed it. They desperately need a patch on some of that combat stuff because flat out some of it is broken. Some of it is firing the gun sideways broken.
Oh.
Hence 2018's Alpha Protocol.
Right. Because
so much of this game shines, and then having that aspect of the combat, it's number one, it's really, really tough. And it seems to me, in my wife's case, she jumped into a mission and she's level 6 and there's level 19 enemies that she has to get past.
That doesn't work that way.
If the game allows you to get yourself trapped in that kind of a position, that's a very big problem.
Yeah, that's just tough design.
Mm-hmm. And that's the type of thing that they need to look at. But I really love this game.
Yeah. Like, when you tell me like 2018's Alpha Protocol, I know exactly what kind of B-tier game that is. And for anyone listening, maybe that is new to the show, B-tier game is not a pejorative. For me, that's a selling point. Like, it's a little bit broken, and it's a little bit janky and unpolished. But for me, that's where the true gems come out, like Alpha Protocol. Like, that's where you find the really cool stuff, is in these games where you sort of have to brush the dirt off of it a little bit. And then you go, oh, there's this really cool other half of the game. Then maybe I just put the combat on easy and just kind of get through to get the cool RPG stuff.
And that I would be 100% in agreement with, minus the fact that there's no difficulty scale.
Oh, good God.
Literally, your guide to the difficulty of this game is, if it's too hard, drink more people's blood.
Oh my God.
What happens, and this is the sticking point between me and my wife, was I'm patient enough. I'm going to go for the no kills run my first time through.
Right.
I probably shouldn't.
It's probably the hardest.
I will admit that. I probably shouldn't.
Is there an achievement for it?
Yes, there is.
Okay. So you know it can be done.
Yes. I'm going to try that, and if it gets too hard, I'm going to just
start
chow down, like, on
pull up to the
everybody in
drive-thru.
sight.
Do you get experience for battles, or is it just blood drinking?
Combat, successful completion of missions, these type of things.
Okay.
All of this gives you XP. But like, I did a combat thing and I got 40 XP. You're looking at this guy who's a drunkard in the bar who just keeps telling everybody he wants to die, and he is worth 3,000 XP compared to the 40 I got from combat.
Right.
So the scales kind of don't balance that well in that kind of situation. But I'm gonna see if I can do it. This is a game that I'm probably gonna be playing over a long period of time, because right now I'm still at the first hub. I haven't gone out and done any secondary missions. I beat the tutorial area. I got introduced to the world. I got introduced to a whole bunch of characters. I'm going to take my sweet time about this because it's something I'm enjoying playing, and I don't want to end up having that situation where I am put in a position that makes the game impossible to play.
Right.
If needs be, and I need to end up drinking down on some fools, I'll drink down on some fools.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna see how far I can go without doing that, just to give myself a better idea of this adaptive difficulty scaling that they've got. Because at the end of the day, if you're not as patient as I am, and I'm not saying I'm skilled at video games, but I have the patience to smash my head against that wall over and over and over again,
like
and
that
not
positive stubbornness.
Hey, listen to the Binding of Vampyr and listen to how much I'm talking about the Keeper right now, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
See how large his loss streak gets on Wednesday.
Yes. So I've got the patience to be able to do that. My wife is not a patient person, shall we say. And it seems extremely punitive to somebody like her, who doesn't have that patience to just smash her head against the wall until she beats it.
Right.
To be like, oh, there's no scaler here. You know, you make it easy by killing people. But what happens if she wants to do the no-kill run-through, but doesn't have the patience for a kind of broken game to get through that part of it?
Right.
So, the game is fun to me. Like, for me, I'm absolutely fine with it. I can completely 100% see how a fair few people will have an issue with this game. If you're a puritanical playthrough like I am, where it's like, this is the way I'm going to play, no ifs and or buts.
Focus on the story.
Yeah. Do what needs to be done. Granted, it might not be the way you want to play it, but, you know, sometimes it might be worth doing that to get through to the end of it, and then if you decide you want to go for that way, go for that way.
Yeah.
But still, I kind of really love this game. Like, a lot. And as someone pointed out on Twitter, it's like someone was talking about single-player games and how rare they are these days.
Yeah.
I picked this up for 2 reasons. I didn't pick it up for myself. I picked it up mostly for Jess because she was hyper excited about this game.
Yeah.
But I also picked it up because, hey, it's a single-player game. It's from Don't Nod, who I have adored their previous work.
Yeah.
So, you know what? I'm going to throw the $60 at it. I'm going to throw that in the direction and see how things turn out.
Yeah.
As it so happens, it's reminding me so much of Alpha Protocol. It's like, this game is great. It's so broken, but it's great.
Yeah.
But
and I certainly don't want Don't Nod to fail, and I don't want this game to fail, but I think the small silver lining for me is going to sound more crass than I'm intending it to be. Is it's probably going to be pretty cheap pretty quickly. So for someone like me that's on a very tight budget, that's sort of good news. Because I still want to play it. I mean, I think everything you've told me isn't necessarily bad. It's just you sort of have to roll with what the game is giving you, and maybe the game will have a couple of hefty patches by the time I get around to it.
Yeah, and who knows, maybe if I do all of the quests in the first zone before trying to proceed with the main story, maybe that'll be enough to push me over the edge. It's like, okay, no, you don't have to drink somebody's blood to keep going.
You just do all this other stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I can confirm, though, thanks to my wife, who basically decimated an entire area, you do become look a lot more vampiric the more blood you drink.
Okay, cool.
She now looks like a body that's just come out of the grave with bright red eyes.
Oh, wow.
Yikes. So it has that effect on it, too. It's the Mass Effect red scars.
Right.
But no, Vampire, I'm enjoying it. It has its flaws. Be ready to deal with those flaws if you decide you want to buy it or start playing it. But that's all I've been playing, so Boston.
I've only had time for a little bit of stuff this week. In Destiny 2 faction rallies about, well, let's start off with the Nascent Dawn quest. That's that exotic weapon quest I've been doing for the last 5 weeks. Last step was this week. Super, super easy. This time we got the exotic catalyst for the weapon. And we got the final little bit of lore for the basically the background of what happened as someone created Rasputin, you know, however hundreds of years ago that was. So that was pretty cool. It was nice to see that that they could make basically a handout exotic, which sounds more negative than it is. Make it sort of interesting week over week. Thankfully, the smart thing they've done is, now that all 5 weeks are over, if you hop in now and you start week 1, she'll just give you each piece one after the other after you turn them in. You don't have to wait 5 weeks if you start now.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, thankfully, because that would just be like, hey, you want this cool gun that literally everyone else has? Well, you better wait a little over a month. Like, that would be pretty bad. The first faction rally of Season 3 is back, and this is the brand new return of faction rallies. Basically, what would happen before is every time a faction rally would come out, you'd pledge your loyalty to one of the 3 factions.
Yeah, I think I was there for the first one.
Yeah, and then you'd basically just go farm the hell out of lost sectors, and people found a way to, like, get thousands of tokens per hour basically because you could like bomb the boss, grab the chest, and then literally walk a little bit out of the lost sector and then walk back in, and the boss and the chest would be back there. So Bungie has done two pretty major things to change that. One thing they did this time is you can only pledge to one faction across all three of your characters for the event.
Interesting.
Yes, the community has not received that well. Unsurprisingly, the Destiny 2 community is angry about literally everything, so take that with a grain of salt.
Yep.
I like that because it means that you're pledging to a faction for real. Like, next time the faction rally comes around, there's going to be 3 this season, you can change your pledge if you want. But, like, you have to make a decision. And why people are angry about that is at rank 50 for all 3 factions, there's an exotic weapon catalyst and an exotic armor ornament.
Yeah.
Most people are doing Dead Orbit because the best scout rifle in the game has a catalyst in there that makes it more stable, and auto-aim is a little bit stronger. So everyone's going Dead Orbit. I went Future War Cult because me and my purple peeps are always hanging out. And the gear they have
FWC for life.
Yes, FWC for life. The ornaments they have for their gear looks sick this time. I look awesome. The other thing they did is they went with this renown system. So basically what happens is when you're out and you're doing stuff on a planet, you gain renown. You can gain up to 5 stacks of renown. If you do like a patrol, that gets you 1 renown. You do a heroic event, that gets you 3, and so on and so forth. Basically, everything you're doing on the planet will get you renown. When you get those stacks of renown, and you go to a lost sector, and you loot the chest in there, you basically get double the number of renown you have in tokens. So you go in there with 5, you get 10 tokens when you clear it.
That's kind of handy.
What I really love about this, and man, what this community hates,
is they reset the renown every time you open the chest.
Yes, but that's not the problem. What happens is when you get 5 stacks of renown, you do way less damage, enemies do way more damage to you, and you don't regenerate health anymore. So what I really love now is lost sectors without renown is basically like, all right, I'm going to run up to this boss, I'm going to drop my super on them, I'm going to sprint over to the chest, open it up, and I'm going to peace out.
Yep.
But now it turns into an actual dungeon where I have to clear out all the enemies. I have to try and use weapons and skills that regenerate or recover my health. I'm moving through like SEAL Team 6, like watching my corners and sniping people that could be a problem. And the boss in Lost Sector is a real problem this time. Because if you die, you lose 1 stack of renown every time you die. So
it gets easier, but you lose the rewards.
Exactly. I think that's super cool because they've
turned it, rather than a run and pick up, now it's an actual mission. Now it has gameplay instead of just being a clicker where you go in, you click the button, and you get stuff.
Exactly. And I think the largest problem I have is myself and a lot of others don't have a ton of time to play Destiny 2. I have more time than most. Getting to rank 50 requires 1,000 tokens. Excusing the sort of daily quests you get, which will give you like 15 or 20 tokens at a time, you're getting 10 at a time. That's
what, 100 lost sectors?
Yeah. But you only have a week.
Oh.
That's, to me, that's not nearly enough. On the surface, I don't really have a problem with there being rewards in Destiny that not everybody can get. Look at the competitive PvP gun. I'm not gonna. Yeah. I'd love to get it. I can't. I'm bad at PvP, or I'm not good enough in that mode. I'm also bad. But I feel like if you would make this event 2 weeks, I feel like the majority of people could get to the point where if they put in a little bit of time every day for those 2 weeks, they could get to that rank 50 reward.
Yeah.
As it is, a lot of people might get halfway. And I think, on one hand, that's fine, because, like, sure, you need to put in the time, whatever. On the other hand, a week is kind of short for an event like this.
It's the problem with the games as a service model.
Yeah.
Everyone is so determined to make sure that you only play their game, and you have to put so many hours into their game that you can't play anything else. You have to keep playing that game.
Just grind.
To maintain that level. But then the problem is you're going to do one of two things. The people who are really into your game are going to be really into your game.
Yep.
Everybody else is going to burn out and not play anymore.
Yeah, like the faction rally is going to be over, and they're tired of running lost sectors, and they didn't get the reward they want, and they go, okay. I mean, we'll talk about the future of Destiny 2 in the news stories, but, you know, for a lot of people, Destiny 2 in this event is sort of like, yeah, this is sort of my siren song on Destiny 2 Year 1. But, which is sort of a shame, because with the Renown system, they did something really great. They kept faction rallies exactly the same as they were before. You're going to do lost sectors to get tokens to turn into your faction, but they put something around it to make it way more interesting, and I think that's great. It's just the execution of the back end, where it's just 1 week, is kind of a problem. Because if you want to overlay that with like Iron Banner, where you get tokens for your faction as you're going in Iron Banner, that'd be great. You can have two factions going at the same time. You're playing one event to sort of spread across two factions, that'd be fine.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I'm still enjoying Destiny 2. I'm not feeling well lately, which Destiny 2 is a really, really great comfort food game. I can get in, I can do a little bit of stuff, you know, once a day for my weekly goals. I can do a little bit of the faction rally stuff, play for half an hour, and then I can kind of be back on my way.
Let me tell you about another Bungie game, which, considering you are debating on Game Pass, let me tell you about Halo the Master Chief Collection.
Oh, God. No comment. The only other game I played this week is I played a bunch of Moonlighter. I'm sort of purposely moving very slowly through Moonlighter because I'm sort of savoring the meal. You know, it's like I could chew down this steak and not really taste it, but it's a really good cut of steak, so I'm gonna enjoy it. I know I'm gonna play it again because I want to get some of the other trophies. There's one trophy that there are a couple of problems with this game from a design standpoint that it seems like the developer is looking to address. They've been working really hard to put out a bunch of patches to fix some of the worst bugs in the game, which so far haven't been bad for me. But there's one trophy where you need to, the very first weapon you get in the game is a broom, and like the intro scene is, I'm gonna go in the dungeon with my broom, and whoops, I'm dead. One of the trophies is you need to get the last hit on every boss with your broom.
Oh, wow.
The problem with that is I can't get the bosses to spawn anymore because they only spawn once.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because they drop incredibly expensive stuff from the chest, so they don't want you just farming the first dungeon over and over. But that means I've already killed the first 3 bosses. I'm now on the 4th dungeon, so I can't get that trophy unless I start a new game, which is fine. Yeah. I'm in the 4th dungeon. The 3rd dungeon boss was surprisingly hard. I didn't really have trouble with the first 2 bosses. I haven't even gotten to the 2nd floor of the 4th dungeon at this point. I've fully upgraded the town, my shop. My shop is huge. I have a cool assistant. Every time we open the shop, she like ties back her hair and gets to work. It's really cool.
Oh wow, that's kind of neat.
I'm at like the last tier of armor upgrades. I have like 900 health at this point. You start the game with I think 75 or 100. It's like 910 health, 280 armor, and then because I've upgraded my bed so far, every time you start a new day, you start with 3 shields at the end of your health bar. Those are 3 free hits that don't do any damage to your health or your armor.
Nice.
So I'm pretty kitted out, and I feel like if I really wanted to, I could probably push straight through the 4th dungeon and onto the 5th dungeon, which is sort of the whole point of the game. Is at the very beginning is like, hey, there are 5 dungeon doors outside of the town. How do we open the 5th door? There are 4 keyholes. That's weird. And the game's very much like, wink.
Yeah.
But I'm still really enjoying Moonlighter so far. I know a lot of people... I've been looking at some stuff in the community because there aren't a lot of people playing this. I'm looking for some stuff where it's like, okay, how do I do this trophy? Like, what does this mean? I'm running across a lot of people that are having some pretty serious design problems with some of the design decisions, which I sort of disagree with on some standpoints. But I'm still really enjoying it. It's a great game to sit there and play. You can pause all of it. You can... I like that I can spend 5 minutes in the shop and do that. I like that I spend 10 minutes in the dungeon and do that, and that's the full loop. Like, it's a 15-minute loop, and it feels really great.
Yeah.
And it's just a lot of fun to play. And I think this week has been tough, and I think between Destiny 2 and Moonlighter, I have an older comfort food game, and I have a brand new comfort food game, and that makes me feel pretty great.
Yeah.
And then I have Owlboy, which is just like walking over hot coals.
A kick in the feathers.
Yeah, exactly. And with that, let's take a break.
Yes. I see you hanging out in chat, Rob. Don't be silent. Comment, like, subscribe. I don't even know where the button for that is on Twitch, so
who knows anymore? I think it's right under the player.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be, at the very least. All right, we have a lot of questions this week, so let me go to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay. Hi, Rob. I see Commander Root is in chat as well. I don't know your real name, otherwise I would say it. I'm so bad with names. I keep calling Justin T because that's what I know him as. That's how my day's gone. So please, if you're in chat, please don't talk about the Microsoft press conference. I have not seen anything to do with it. I've been avoiding it. Same with all the other ones. This week is my week to watch that in preparation for next week's show, which next week's show will be the big E3 blowout, where literally we don't talk about what we've been playing. We don't talk about anything like that. We only talk E3. So that should be interesting. Considering I already... Well... Spoiler, Boston spoiled something for me because he's like, a game you love has got a sequel. Do you want to know what it is? And I was like, well, EA's press conference is going on right now, so I'm guessing it's made by them. It was Unravel 2. I love that game. If you haven't played Unravel 2 and you have EA access, go play that game. Because no joke, that's an amazing game for me. Also, how can you tell it's hot? Number one, the sweat dripping off my face. Number two, I have the fan on, which I never have it on. Ah, crap, I knew I forgot to mention something. Oh, Rob, why the fuck was Justin drunk at like 4? It started at 4, didn't it? So how was he drunk at 4 p.m. in the afternoon? Did he have a babysitter again today? Him and his wife go and get hammered. Ugh, I got it. You don't have to correct yourself when it comes to stuff like that, Rob. I understood who you're talking about. And by the way, I'm facing that way because that's where my chat lives, for those who don't know. And for those in Twitch chat, you may have noticed there is a comment from my wife from YouTube saying, "Sorry about the creaky stairs. I'm done in the attic now." I don't know if any of the stairs came through. I didn't hear any. But if they did, she apologized. Deal with it. This house is old, dude. Sorry, I'm laughing to myself about my wife's YouTube name. Because, why not? Brain Eater, Rob, in chat. I hope you don't mind that I actually use your real name, by the way, Rob. Talking about Drunk Justin, T-Bomb Rocks. I hope he doesn't mind that I use his real name. Was drunk watching the Microsoft press conference and said he kept screaming every time something got announced. So that's fun. And my wife says, yes, her name is fitting on YouTube. Yes, it is. And Rob agrees. Which, by the way, folks, we are actually on a break right now. Boston's just run to the bathroom. As soon as he's back, I'm going. And then it'll be the second half of the show. And then preparation for work tomorrow for me. And I rolled my eyes at myself because I forgot something else too. Because I'm an idiot. Until then, I'm just going to keep chatting to chat and vaping and drinking my weird soda. I'm surrounded by these. I have opened them all. It's just I'm surrounded by loot crates. Because I do such a terrible job at actually unpacking this stuff. Because I still need to finish setting up the shelves in here, and there's a laundry list of stuff I need to do. Including my laundry, funnily enough. Oh, it's too hot. Boston's back, eventually. There he is. Now he's unmuted himself. Hello.
Hello.
My wife apologized for creaky stairs. I don't know if anything of them came through.
Probably not. I mean, we don't record in like a perfectly quiet studio or anything, so you're good.
Right. I'm going to run the bathroom really quick.
Okay.
And then second half.
Yep.
Apparently T-Bomb Rocks was drunk while the Xbox press conference was going on.
Ah.
It's 4 p.m. It was started at 4 p.m. Judge him appropriately.
That's a good time. Alright, let's look at some of this recap stuff. Fucking Ben Kachura running his mouth again. I have to rewatch this conference for type up all my notes. Man, I want to play Tunic. Gears 5 looks great. Devil May Cry 5 looks great. What do I hear in the background? Is that Moon? Or is that something running on my computer? Has something gone wrong? This earbud is not fitting in my ear. There we go. There we go. How's everyone in chat doing? Now I can talk about all this cool E3 stuff now that Moon's gone. He's gonna be super excited about Dying Light 2.
Oh, there you are. You coming in? Well, nope.
Oh, is that a cat meowing?
If you're in, you're in. Yes.
I think it was. Oh, God.
Come on. Actually, let's move that out of the way. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Go on.
I hope you all on the stream can hear that. Hello.
Hello.
I was really confused because I thought I heard someone singing in the background. It was just Louise meowing at you.
Yep. Which she was downstairs.
Wow.
I locked this room for once today while Jess was upstairs doing work. So I locked this door shut just in case we got any echoes. And literally as soon as she had the office door open, she was
sprinting.
Just like, I could hear her coming up the stairs meowing at me. And then as I came out the bathroom, she came out of here looking for me.
That's great.
Hello.
Alright, no more E3 talk now. I'm going to spread it back. Alright, let me know whenever you're ready to... what time is it? 4 o'clock. Shit. I'm going to cut some stuff from news stories then.
Okay.
I'm going to cut Destiny 2 and some of the Ubisoft stuff. I'd rather get to questions than news stories.
Yeah.
Actually, we'll cut Crackdown 3 being delayed because we can talk about that during E3. I didn't mean to underline it. I meant to strike it through. Strike through. Okay. Are you and Luis ready?
Yes.
Alright, let's get started here in 3, 2, 1. Let's talk releases for the week of June 11th, 2018. Nothing. It's E3.
Nothing.
Nothing?
Something that was 2?
Oh, well, okay, yeah. As part of the E3 EA proceedings, Unravel 2 just came out.
There we go.
I did the release notes before EA's thing. Alright, let's talk about news stories. Valve has been... we haven't talked about it on the show, but Valve has been in some hot water lately, especially around anime-influenced games, visual novels, and stuff like that. About some inconsistent rulings on Valve's part about what does or doesn't get allowed in the store.
Specifically in regards to adult content, shall we say.
Yes, that was some of the stuff that previously Valve had said, yeah, that stuff's cool, and then suddenly... yo, that stuff's not cool. Valve has then come out recently and said, well, we're going to clarify our rules, which is we don't have any. As long as it's not illegal or, quote, straight-up trolling, it can be allowed on the Steam Store.
Yep, so basically what they did is they went into their document that contains the rules, they hit Control-A, and then they hit Delete.
Yep. I wanted to talk about this because I think this is one of the dumbest decisions a company has made in a really long time.
Yep.
I think the problem we've been seeing with Steam over the last couple of years is it has moved from the place where all the good games go to the place where everything goes. And if you don't clean up your marketplace, how is anybody supposed to use your service to find anything of interest? And
they offhanded the moderation to the consumers, and by doing so, they opened themselves up to quote-unquote straight-up trolling.
Yeah.
With Dark Souls being defined as a casual game, a walking simulator, and all kinds of other stuff.
Sim.
It's like,
yeah. I think this is one of the dumbest things they've done in the history of a company that continues to do really stupid stuff. And I think they should have taken the opposite standpoint. And this is the thing I non-trollingly posted on Twitter. Valve, hire me, I will run a team to do this. What you need to do is you need to take out all of the games that, number one, don't work or don't launch. That's a pretty easy first cut to make. And then you start looking at games that don't really gain, don't really gain your platform anything, or they're just trolling games.
Or the whole the asset flip game.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff is, you want to release a game that you made for asset flips, that's fine. Start your own website, put that stuff there. I don't have anything against a company that wants to put out a game that features asset flips. It's not something I'm going to play, but maybe it's a great place for somebody to start developing games for really cheap. But I don't think that stuff belongs on large storefronts like this. It shouldn't be on itch.io or GOG or Steam. Any of these places, I don't think that's the appropriate place for that stuff to be. And then at that point, you start formalizing, firming, and communicating the rules about what does and doesn't isn't allowed on the Steam store. And you get back to the point where you can look at a game, and the recommended games like that are high quality, completed, polished games on your platform.
I mean, to be honest, I ain't got no problem with quote-unquote adult-themed games coming out on it. You know what? If you want to make a smut game and peddle your smut, go right ahead. Make it some good smut. Yeah, sure. Make it. Actually put effort into it. Actually make it a good game and have it be on Steam. I don't have a single problem with that.
Some of the adult visual novels are, on the smut spectrum of adult. That stuff's fine. I mean, as long as you're not, really marketing it towards kids, then you should be fine. If you don't market it at all, the market for those games is so small, you're gonna find it on Steam anyway.
And literally have it be a filter that you can turn on or off. Contains adult content in that nature, not the
is it an
violence.
Adult game? Then sure. Nice and easy. These are solvable problems. Hire me, let me hire my friends, pay us a bunch of money, I'll fix Steam. Probably. That is, I'm free to be hired. We will move to Seattle.
To work for Valve, I would move to Seattle.
Sure, yeah. They got that Dota money.
Yes, exactly.
I'll take some of that Dota money. And we're skipping a whole bunch of news stories because we're sort of running a little bit late here today, and most of the stuff's going to show up in the E3 episode next week as it is. But last but not least, Guitar Hero Live goes offline in December. It is taking 92% of its songs with it.
Oh, wow.
I thought the Pinball Arcade one was bad.
This is worse.
This one is way worse. So I had sort of forgotten, because I never picked up Guitar Hero, the latest one, just called Guitar Hero.
It's the live video one, isn't it? Where you basically play on a stage and it streams the music to you, and you can just keep flowing through it all.
Yeah, it, like, streams the videos in the background, and you're just sort of like going from song to song in channels, like by genre or by decade or stuff like that. A really cool idea. And some of the microtransaction stuff they did was interesting, and some of it made a little bit more sense, where it's like, oh, I'm going to buy a party pass that will let me play anything for the next 3 hours, stuff like that. All we'll be left with is the 42 songs on disc, which normally would say, like, oh, 42 songs, that's great. But they're kind of not the ones you want to play. So, I mean, we talk a lot about games of service, and 9 times out of 10, I don't have a problem with them. In the case of Destiny 2, that's clearly a game as a service now, and I'm still playing it. But the downside of some of this stuff is when a game is basically just disappearing, like Guitar Hero Live stuff. Yeah. With no chance for us to really archive that stuff at all. No. I think that's where it gets really, from an archival standpoint, that's where I get really bummed.
I bet you the people over at videogamearchive.com or wherever it is are currently in the process of reaching out to Activision.
Yeah, and Activision will probably be like, hey, we didn't get your email.
Yep.
Suckers.
I'm sorry, that section is being Control-A deleted.
Yeah, this inbox is no longer monitored.
No.
All right, let's move on to TVGP recommends. I'm going to start with you, Moon, because I don't have anything yet.
Mine's a weird one this week.
Okay.
A really weird one. Mine is Honeywell air circulation fans.
Okay.
Which is specifically, I think you can get them, there's 2 different sizes we picked up, where I think the cheapest one was like $15 from Walmart, the next one up was like $20.
Mm-hmm.
They're basically like normal fans, except they're heavy-duty designed for air circulation. And let me tell you, these little things are powerful.
Oh, really?
We have a circulation problem in this household. That problem
It's a very old house, right?
Yes, it's a very old house, and we don't actually have AC.
Right.
We have a window unit which sits in the bedroom, so when it gets really hot, we can actually sleep at night. And downstairs we have ceiling fans, which we actually have in this room as well. Which all they basically do is shove hot air around the room.
Now I have a hot breeze. Fantastic.
Exactly. We picked up 3 of these fans. One is in the attic right now, one is in the bedroom, and one is downstairs in the living room. And these things kick air like you wouldn't believe it. It has made the bedroom sleepable without needing the AC on right now, because the little tiny thing is so stupidly powerful, and it's really cheap. So if you're looking for a fan, may I recommend these, because they're actually really quiet as well. We have one in the living room sitting behind all of our electronics, just circulating the hot air out.
Yeah.
Because we've got 2 TVs, 2 360s, 2 Xbox Ones, monitor, router, all kinds of other stuff back there. And the living room is actually colder now than it has ever been, thanks to one fan placement. So
I actually don't have anything this week. I'd like to remind everyone that we're not always going to have stuff, but go read Blood, Sweat, and Pixels. That book's really good. Jason Schreier's book.
It's really good.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to questions. We got a whole bunch of them this week. Death2K in Discord says, "Hey guys, so that thing called E3 snuck in, so quickly predict the following fast." Okay. We've seen a little bit of E3, so we're going to not... let's take it one by one. One new hardware. The Vita 2.
Nintendo Switch U.
Oh yeah. So Switch 3DS. One remastered game. I sort of got my Dream One announced at E3 like an hour ago.
Yeah, I already know what that is. Thanks, Soul Man.
One remastered game.
Mass Effect Trilogy.
What's that?
Mass Effect Trilogy. It's never gonna happen, but a boy can dream.
Yeah. I would like to see... Oh man, I don't know. We already have Final Fantasy 12. That'd be my other choice.
Final Fantasy 8 is...
Yeah, Final Fantasy 8 would be really great. Yeah, let's do Final Fantasy 8. Final Fantasy 9 already got a remaster.
7's getting a remaster. Where's the love for 8? The better of the two between 7 and 8.
That's right. That's right. You get to stay on the show.
Don't at me, people.
Yeah. One exclusive title.
My exclusive title's already been delayed till February, so that doesn't matter anymore.
Man, even like the Spyro re-release is coming out for multiple platforms. Crash Bandicoot's coming on the Switch. Like,
yeah, but not on the Xbox. What a shocker!
I thought it still was.
Oh,
maybe it just got delayed. It's a hard time because we're recording right after the Microsoft one finished. So, Crash Bandicoot is coming out on Xbox One June 29th.
Of course.
The week everything seems to be coming out.
I like the fact that you have to clarify that as well. 2018 because it's E3 time.
Coming out June 2020.
One console exclusive. One console exclusive.
Looking at Sony, Days Gone has already been announced. You know, last E3, so was Left 4 Dead 2 or Last of Us 2. Left 4 Dead 2. There's a remaster I want.
Oh, there's a console exclusive I want. Microsoft Kart. Mario Kart, but with all the Microsoft cast of characters, including that big stupid beast from Brute Force. He's the Bowser.
speaking of Left 4 Dead 2, did you see Turtle Rock Studios wrote a post-mortem on why Evolve failed?
No.
They said it failed because we designed it wrong. Basically, we shouldn't have made it 4v1.
Mm-hmm. You should have made Left 4 Dead 3.
We shouldn't have made all of the classes different, and we shouldn't have made the monster level up differently than the humans do.
Okay, so you should have made Left 4 Dead.
Basically, yeah. They said, like, look, we tried to do something really cool, and it just didn't work out. We just had so much trouble balancing and designing and patching and all that stuff. I thought that... It's all over on Gama Sutra. I recommend everyone read it. It's a surprisingly fresh look at, like, hey, we tried and we just got it wrong.
The only other studio I've known to be that forthcoming is Obsidian.
Yeah. Yeah, it was nice to see. Next up is one new IP. I want to see, like, Capcom come out with something new. Like, not a sequel of something, just something, hey, we're Capcom and here's a brand new game featuring brand new characters.
A new IP. I'm kind of getting what I want in Anthem, so...
Yeah.
That's kind of everything I want in an IP. It's sci-fi, it's BioWare, and it has the potential to have multiplayer in it, so, yeah.
Yeah, so it's Anthem.
Yeah.
And one new service offer.
Ooh, one new service offer.
PlayStation does Game Pass.
That's a good one. That was what was...
It'll never happen.
Yes. The other thing I would like to see is cross-play between everything.
Please, God, yes.
Play with everything.
Yes, please. And that was it. P.S. Thanks for another week of entertainment. Thank you for the questions. Jet Ice 182 on Discord says, I know you probably get a lot of E3 questions, but would you rather not have something like E3 and just have the surprise of a trailer for a new game drop and have that surprise be there for you one morning and find there's going to be Left 4 Dead 3 instead of saying we find out at E3? I don't know. I sort of like the big, like, oh, I woke up, let me look on Twitter, oh my god, this thing's coming out. But I kind of like that we're mostly positively on the world stage for like a week. Yeah. Like, games are good and things are great and there's brand new stuff coming out. You know, it's... I like that positive press for a while. You like
the pomp and circumstance?
A little bit, yeah.
It happens for a week a year, so it's fine.
As someone who doesn't have to go there and work it, yeah, I kind of like it.
Yes, exactly. I prefer the other way. I love E3 because it's exciting. It's an exciting time in the world of video games because ideally you go in as blind as you can, and then
guy with the thumbs.
Yes. Then when you do something does get dropped big, then you absolutely love it. It's old hat now, but Crackdown 3 is the prime example. I watched that live, streamed it after the fact with my wife, having avoided everything to do with it. Yeah. And the second the first trailer for Crackdown 3 came out, I literally lost my mind as soon as the guy started talking, and I was like, I don't know what this is. I literally don't know what this is. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I like the just finding out about it one day, and but the problem is everything has to be an event, so that's never happening anymore unless something gets leaked.
Right.
My favorite thing is, here is a game, it's out in 2 months.
Right.
I think Bethesda have nailed this over the past couple of years, where everyone talked about Doom. It was a known secret that they were making Doom, and it was a known secret that they were making Fallout 4, and they were like, oh hey, here's Doom, it comes out in 2 months. Here's Fallout 4, it comes out in 6 months.
Right.
Like, none of this 2-3 year stuff. I know sometimes people get it wrong. Crackdown 3, looking at you again.
Well, a lot of EA stuff where it's just concept art with the music, like...
Coming in 2022.
Yeah, exactly. Great. Coming later.
Yes.
Or my favorite, we'll talk more about it next E3. It's just like, oh no.
We'll see you at Gamescom for more.
Yeah.
That's 6 months away, dude.
Yeah. Killing me here.
Well, yeah, give me the short turnaround, give me the games that aren't known about, and then they get announced, and then they come out like a month later. Ed McMillan does this exactly. He works on a game, he doesn't announce it until it's, what, a month or two out from release?
Yeah, it's like you can pre-order it on Steam right now, and it has a release date.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's my favorite type of thing.
T-Bomb Rocks in Discord says, now that we have a release date for Anthem, February is becoming a busy month. Crackdown 3, Anthem, Days Gone.
Let me tell you about January 29th, Kingdom Hearts 3.
Allegedly. Do you see more devs taking the trend of rather than releasing a game at the end of the year to focus on the end of fiscal year?
I think this is people realizing, thanks to games like Dead Space 2, Dead Space 1, Mass Effect 2, all these games came out real early in the year, and people love them. Resident Evil 7. Resident Evil 7 last year, Monster Hunter World this year. These are games that are coming out in January, February, which was a dead zone for the longest time.
Yep. It's after Christmas. No one will buy games.
It's the middle of winter. Everybody doesn't want to leave the house.
I'm so bored.
It's a good time to release video games.
Yeah.
It's a really good time to release video games. And people have learned that now. But now that you're going to get into the inverse problem of Madden used to be the indication of video games are here.
Right.
Like, it usually starts with Madden, and then everything else comes out afterwards. Now it's going to be a case of they're going to get spread out so much that when Madden hits, that's the end of the gaming year now.
Right.
Until next January.
Take a little break. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like... I think you have a really great point that that's just such a dead zone that why not release a larger game there? You know, it's been... For so many people, you know, if they're going to release a number of, let's say, single-player games, stuff like Crackdown 3 and Days Gone, you know, why not you have a big game that released in November, come February, yeah, I'm probably ready for another single-player game, or I'm waiting for your November game to go on price drop in February because the new hotness is out.
Yep.
Yeah. His next question is, Dave Bautista is looking to play Marcus Phoenix for the Gears of War movie. Terry Crews seems to be an obvious choice for Coltrane, or just the guy who voiced Coltrane, because he's pretty big too. Who would you want to play Dom and Carmine?
Let's see.
I feel like you're asking the two people that know the least about movies, so this is going to be pretty good.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty good. I gotta say, full credit for the Bautista and Terry Crews.
Yeah, Batista's been all over Twitter being like, hey, you guys are making a Gears movie? Like, I want to play Marcus Phoenix. Like, put me in the role.
He's big, he's jacked, he's got the right kind of voice, he's a good actor. I wasn't expecting him to be a good actor, but he's
as long as he can say, actor. Anya.
Exactly.
Open that door, Jack. Oh, come on.
There you go.
There, I just voiced Marcus Phoenix for the movie. Where's my $1 million?
Now just get you in the mocap suit.
Yeah, well... Get Dave Bautista in the mocap suit. Either that or you have to put one of those like muscle outfits on me.
I was going to say you're slightly bigger in the wrong way.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm not going to go by body type. I'm just going to go by who would be good. If you're going to go with Baird, I think Ryan Reynolds would be a really good Baird.
That'd be my natural Baird choice, yeah.
Because he can get jacked. We've seen him get jacked in Blade Trinity.
That's true.
He's never going to do it again, according to his own words. But
oh, really?
Yeah, he said it was so tough. I think he was down to like 2% body fat.
You can do a lot with CG nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Put him in those big, dumb, bulky suits, and everyone looks jacked.
Yeah, exactly. Get the World of Warcraft CGI team in.
Yeah, exactly. Notice you didn't say Warcraft movie.
That's what I was intended, but
I think you said it right.
Oh, let's see. Who about Dom? Who's down? Who's dreary? Oh,
like almost a bit of a sad sack.
Yeah.
Steve Carell.
Oh, Steve Carell's not bad. Is it Jeffrey Tambor? Just for comedy sakes?
Yeah, he's in a little bit of hot water right now, though. I don't know if you want to hire him on your movie.
True. Sad sack old... washed up guy. Oh, Harrison Ford. There you go.
There you go. He can just mumble his way through.
Yeah. And the smoke coming from him is not weed, we swear.
Wink.
Wink.
I'm looking at a website here that has cast their dream cast for the movie. Marcus Phoenix is Dave Bautista, of course.
Good call.
Dominic Santiago, a.k.a. Dom. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I could get behind that.
He could pull it off.
Yeah. They have to grow a lot of hair, though. Page 2 has the other people, because...
Of course it does.
2 people, 1.
Dude, I don't know if you know this about websites, but there's only enough space on a website for 1 or 2 images per page.
That's right. Not counting the ads, of course.
Yes.
Augustus Cole, a.k.a. Coltrane, is Lester Spite.
Is that the guy who voices him by any chance?
I believe so, yeah. He is also a big dude. Damon Baird is John Cena.
Oh, you know...
That's not bad.
That's a really good call, you know.
After seeing him in Sisters, I could get behind that.
After seeing him in Blockers, he can pull that off.
Yeah.
Also, didn't know he's in the new Bumblebee movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's a pretty good list. ScreenRant.com.
Yes. Oh, of course, it's Screen Rant.
I don't know who else.
The perfect Dom.
Yeah.
Josh Brolin.
Oh, that'd be pretty good. Yeah. He's got that sad sack going on. And
after seeing Deadpool 2, he can kind of pull it off too.
Yeah. All right, that'd be my vote. Maximus Prime in Discord says, I keep hearing people say Xbox is dead, Microsoft needs to drop out, etc., etc. I don't believe this at all, and I think you two are rational enough to also know these claims are pretty ridiculous. Thank you for the... You're giving us a lot of credit. But that said, what do you think Microsoft should/need to do the remainder of this gen and the beginning of next gen to make the sales and public perception more even with the competition? Owen, you can't just answer more first-party games.
It's dead simple. They've already taken the correct steps. Step number 1, get the idiot who was in charge out of the door. They did that. They have... I can't even remember his name. Don Matrick? Is that the guy?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Whoever made
He's dead to us.
Their design doc, their decision-making choices, every decision they made for the Xbox One was not forward-thinking.
Right. It was like forward-thinking in the wrong ways, where it's like, you guys can be able to share games. It's like, yeah, we can, with incredibly restrictive DRM. It's like, well, no. You got half of it, right?
Well, here's the thing, though, is modern-day games have that DRM anyway.
Sure. But you need to, like, sweeten the pot with the DRM.
Yes, you do, but at the end of the day, as you look at the condition that the Xbox One is in right now and the PlayStation 4 is in right now, you unplug those games, those consoles, from the internet, they don't work as intended at all.
Yeah,
so
that's fair.
We are in the situation right now, which is what the Xbox One would have been originally.
Yeah, you just gotta Trojan horse it in there. Oh, look, it's a new dashboard update. We have new features. Game Pass, also DRM, but Game Pass.
Right. It's the way that the messaging they did was wrong. The messaging they did this entire beginning of this generation was wrong.
And when they launched, like when they announced it, they hit us with like 4 or 5 things that were all kind of not great. And so we're like, all right, you need to put those at the bottom of our press release or like one at a time. Let's chill out here. Other than first party, I feel like they made so many right choices by doing Game Pass. Like they have, I guess my answer to this is they're sort of doing it. If you remove the games, they're sort of doing it already. They have Game Pass, they have cross-buy, cross-play, cross-save on a lot of their first-party and some second-party titles. The Xbox One X is clearly a technology winner over the PS4 Pro.
The biggest downside for that is they should have put the R&D into that at the start of this generation, not at the midpoint. That's the big thing they're hitting with. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I don't like, even if they announce a new PlayStation 5,
right?
How much R&D are Sony gonna have to do to get it to the same level just as the X? I mean, is the X the next generation for Microsoft? Did they,
Yeah, is it like the half step or is it the next one? Like, who knows?
They're in a weird situation, but I think they started making the right moves a long time ago.
Yep.
Having Spencer in charge is definitely the right kind of decision. But Yeah, my wife in chat shouting rude.
Moonbear's wife in chat goes, rude. Whoops, it's the wrong chat room. Ignore that. I was like, we're pumping up your platform. But yeah, I agree. I think over the last... It has taken Microsoft a long time to get here where they have the platform, they have the hardware, they have all the stuff that you would need, and they just need to finish the equation with the thing that we're not allowed to talk about in this question.
Yep. To be honest, even then, I think even if they had the games, at the end of the day, is you started this generation wrong. You did 100%. You started it wrong, and mega corporations like Microsoft and mega industries like gaming is these days, you do not get to just flip a few switches and change that market around.
Yeah, they are Microsoft. Historically, and the Xbox division is included, that's a slow ship to turn.
The whole industry is a slow ship to turn. Yep. Look at the PlayStation. How long did the PlayStation 3 take to get from an absolute joke at the beginning of that cycle to the end of the life cycle of the PS3 was when they drew level.
Yep. And
it's not going to bother me if Microsoft takes until the end of this life cycle to draw level with the PlayStation. It doesn't bother me in the slightest as long as all three companies, the big three, Microsoft, Nintendo, and Sony, all exist. That is better for us, regardless of whose quote-unquote side you're on. The more competition, the better it feeds down to us.
Yep.
We have better services, better platforms, free games, stuff like Game Pass. These innovative ideas and these innovative things coming out are because they have to beat each other.
Yep.
And I'll be honest, I think they've got a really good guy in charge of the Xbox division in Spencer, because he's not afraid to do stuff like go on the Giant Bombs E3 talk and talk about how strong the PlayStation is. He is solid in his, I'm a Microsoft guy. These guys are doing great things. We respect them for that. We wish they'd play ball with us when it came to the cross-platform stuff. But that's their choice, and it's their decision to make.
Like, I mean, we're not talking about E3 either, but he was the lead person for basically in the entirety of their almost 2-hour show, and he did really great. I mean, he's coming out on stage and talking the talk. A little bit of marketing stuff, like always, but, you know, get a person out there.
Like I think they've made the right choices. I think the problem now is the market just needs to catch up with them, which in a world of love it or hate it, you know, buy it or kill it, it's hard to change people's minds in that kind of environment because there is no middle ground anymore. Yeah.
And last but not least, we have a question from Gibbinator in Discord. With the recent leak of the Pokemon Gold demo from Space World 1997, showing us a radically different take on the second generation of Pokemon, what are some of the games that could have been that you wish you could have seen? I think it would be cool to see the original God of War follow-up that's teased by a bunch of bonus scenes from the first game, which would have given us Kratos fighting his brother, implied to be Satan in modern-day Greece. My answer for this will now always be the original Destiny. that stuff from the original trailers and the stuff that got scrapped before, the game that got thrown out before they started what became Destiny 1, I would kill to see that stuff. There's so much cool stuff in there.
Lords of Chaos 2. The end of Castlevania Lords of Chaos leaves...
Oh, Lords of Shadow?
Lords of Shadow, sorry. Yeah. The end of Lords of Shadow 1 is so good.
That modern day stuff, like... Let me play. That's what Vampyr should be.
That kind of is.
Yeah.
Cool. Minus, you know, the 20th century, but...
Yeah, minus the skyscrapers.
Yes.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that kind of stuff is always great to me. I don't know.
I feel like the problem and why this Pokemon Gold Space World demo is so big is because we so rarely see this stuff. You know, we only see finished trailers. It's because I feel like the legacy of Destiny 1 is always going to be, yeah, but man, it could have been way cooler with that original one. Like, the grass is always greener. Like, that game is always better than the one we got because...
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Scalebound.
Yeah, but like we can always dream about Scalebound. Like, what game of Scalebound could have been? Because it didn't come out. We weren't faced with that reality.
Yeah,
Scalebound would have been awesome.
It could have been awesome. I don't know if it would have been.
I mean, that's always the problem with Platinum Games right now. Is there was the last couple of years for Platinum have been real bad.
Yeah, because they seem to be accepting any contract that people slide under their doors.
Yeah, I mean, at some point you need to make money, but you sort of need a sugar daddy for Platinum, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, Microsoft.
Right. Yeah. I didn't watch that whole conference. Who knows? We bought Platinum. All right. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like there are some other famous examples of like the tech demo of Final Fantasy VII that was for the Super NES CD. That was just Final Fantasy VI characters rendered in that style. Some cool stuff, like some pretty cool Square Enix stuff that's surfaced over the last couple of years. There's always famously that game that Grin was making that was a Final Fantasy XII spin-off that...
I don't even know what that one was.
It never came to life because I think the project got canceled before Grin got shut down, but they were making like an open-world Final Fantasy XII game by Grin, which is like, oh god, yes.
True. Star Fox 2 was another good example, but that kind of eventually came out.
Yeah, it's unfortunate Star Fox 2 isn't very good, though.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we just don't see that much that often, unless it's like
because everything's behind closed doors, isn't it? That's the problem.
Yeah, like the game comes out and it's like, well, what are we in the development? It's like hundreds of really tough people put in a ton of great time. Don't worry about the mistakes we made. We see a lot of that stuff with indie developers, which is always nice.
Yeah, and people who are honest when they do post-mortems and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, but other than that, it's unfortunate we don't see more. But, yeah. And it's unfortunate we don't have more of this episode. Wink.
Segue.
If you'd like to visit us, you can do so at tvgp.tv. All the ways to contact us are on the right-hand side of the page, including the Discord server. If you don't want to be spoiled about E3, we have an E3 2018 channel, which I have to give huge props to everybody in Discord. No one's talking about E3 outside of it, which is really fantastic.
Thank you, everyone. Like that's saved my bacon, because I want to come in and I want to read the chat and stuff, and then having that freedom to actually go in and not have to worry about going into the Marvel Strike Force chat room and seeing E3 spoilers all over it is being great.
Marvel Strike Force 2! Yeah, it's huge props. You know, it's the best community on the internet, as I've said before. You guys and gals continue to show me that. Don't forget, last week for our Game Club game Owlboy, we'll record our recap episode on Saturday, and we'll...
You're not making me want to play this, by the way.
I know, I'm sorry. Thankfully, it's short. I think I'll tap out at maybe 7 hours. I'm in like the second to last area. We'll talk about our next game at the end of recap. Patreon.com/E1M1. Get all the cool behind the scenes stuff, exclusive episodes, early access, all that stuff. Don't forget the $5 tier is really where it's at. If you want to pledge more, that'd be great. And last but not least, Twitch, YouTube, all the places you can follow us. Subscribe there. They will let you know when we go live. We'll see you all next week for E3.
Bye-bye.
First segment was really great for titles.
Oh, yeah. I am chock full of titles.
Alright, hit me with... I have 6. So hit me with yours. Oh, excuse me. Moon's just going to take...
I have 13.
Oh, God. Okay.
Let me get my phone up here for my dramatic reading.
Let me get something I can type here so I can instead of writing. All right, I'm ready.
Okay, Pirate Divorce. Touch My Banana, which I'm assuming is immediately vetoed.
Yeah, but it's pretty all right.
Kids Don't Do Kraken. I can't help it. That's kind of a good one. These Gnomes Are Annoying as Hell.
Yeah.
2018's Alpha Protocol.
Yep.
How's That Blood Looking? Chock Full of Blood. FWC for Life. And Kicking the Feathers.
Wow. I have Karen and Meg. Pirate Divorce. Don't Do Kraken. 2018's Alpha Protocol. Dr. Vampyr. And AKA Blood. And then I wrote down, kids don't do Kraken, how's that blood looking, and FWC for life.
I'm really torn between don't do Kraken / kids don't do Kraken, FWC for life, and 2018's Alpha Protocol kind of...
2018's Alpha Protocol is kind of the runner for me. I also like Dr. Vampyr, just because it's...
Yeah.
I have like this skit in my mind where it's like, this vampire with very clear fangs is like at the bedside of a patient, and they're like, what's your name? He's like, Dr. Vampyr. It's like, he seems nice. It's just like he's drooling a little bit. I would vote for 2018's Alpha Protocol. I feel like that's such a title for this show, and immediately communicates what that game is.
Yeah, and I think it might pique interest. But like, if you don't know the show, if you're a relatively new listener, it's like, what the hell is Alpha Protocol?
And why does 2018 matter?
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna circle that then. It's anything Alpha Protocol is too good to skip.
Dude, it feels
it's
like
just
Alpha
the rules
Protocol.
of the show.
And the worst thing is having getting in a heated debate with my wife about the pros and cons of Vampyr. It's like, she's never gonna play Alpha Protocol.
Yeah. All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 555 for June 11th, 2018. 2018's Alpha Protocol.
Fangs that shoot sideways.
All right, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us live yet again. We will see you probably at our more normal time next week, I'm hoping. First off, for the recap episode, that'll be on Saturday, and then E3 will be Sunday. If you've never caught an E3 from us, it is all E3, no releases, what you've been playing, none of that stuff, just E3. And boy, we got a big show to talk about this year, so we'll see you next week. Bye!
Bye-bye!